So peace and love again. Welcome back, everybody. We dealing with our series here on Anunnaki, Atlantis, Noah, Anu, Anubis, and I'm continuing to prove that there is no spookism and that we are the gods, and that the big mystery behind all of this occultism is the secrets of what we are as powerful spiritual beings. You know, that's what I want to do and continue that energy. So here we go, guys. I'm going to hop right into it because it ain't no need to waste no time, right? The God that we're dealing with in this series is right here, right? His name is Anu, and that's the root word of Anunnaki. The reason it's called Anunnaki is because the God Anu is a deity that's called a Naki. I didn't do a tech check, so do me one favor, guys, so we can keep our tradition. Drop a 1 in the chat room if you can hear my voice good and the visuals are coming through good. If everything's good on your end, go ahead and drop a 1. Let's keep with our tradition. Make sure we rolling. Thank you. So this God, Anu, right? One thing about this God, Anu, what people need to realize in the black community is that none of these gods and deities were anything outside of ourselves. Meaning that the knowledge that was embodied by all of these weird deities was dealing with us human beings. And why today we can't really decipher a lot of this knowledge is because we corrupting the interpretation of it. So now a brother like me come along to give us the right interpretation. Now, when we look at the God Anu right here, there's a lot more I want to add to today's lecture in addition to the previous ones that we're doing on here. And what we're going to do in no particular order, we just going to sort of walk our way through these slides. Because one thing I want to point out about this image right here with Noah, and like we said recently, Anu is Nuah. It's a form of Noah, which is this God here. We see that they're the same God of the arch. Now, one thing I wanted to point out about all this, guys, when you look at the human electromagnetic energy field, it looks just like Noah's Ark. And one thing that I wanted to point out about this is that our entire universe is inside of this electromagnetic energy field. This picture is showing you how the holographic simulation is being projected all around you and all around you because you are the central point of reference that's projecting the whole thing. This is what this image means. Everything in this bubble is your world. See what I'm saying? Our world that's around us is being projected around us from the core of the soul. We are projectors of reality, and reality is being loaded by each and every last one of us. And this shows exactly how reality is projected outward. So this is a small bubble just to show you an idea, but what you need to realize is that this bubble represents the entire universe around you. I don't know if any of you guys know that. So our whole world is in this bubble. So if you think about that concept and you compare it to what we're looking at here, each one of us is loading what we call Earth. Earth is a simulation. It's a program. And it's being loaded by each one of us. And this God right here represents you in the middle of your own auric field, and that auric field surrounding you being the universe. And that's why this dome right here is the flat earth, and we know all of that. We can go into flat earth, right? So when you compare this to Noah, it's telling you the same thing. All of the rainbows above the ark, again, are symbolic of the chakra layers. When you look at the rainbows above the arch, all of these are symbolic of the chakra layers. Look at how they have these images, right? With the hands up, don't shoot sort of style. And that's what I'm saying about Noah. So guys, none spooky here. Simply dealing with the circle of energy around a body that it spans outward, projecting you into the universe. But you're not the projection, you're the projector. Okay? Your body is a holographic projection of your soul. But you're your soul and not your soul's projection. So when we look at Noah, his whole world was inside of that bubble. He was able to transport his universe to other areas of this infinite electromagnetic sea. That's what I'm interpreting this. I'm going to show you some more stuff here. When you look at the God of the heavens on top of the arch with his hands open, we already went over that. We compared it to Noah here. But I'm finna go deep and stuff. We're going to wrap a lot of stuff up in this one. Remember we talked about how the aurora borealis light is the soul of the ancestors journeying back home, and that they call them Nagini, and they were little green serpent deities. Another thing I want to show you is this, because NASA give us this to show us the creation of a new galaxy. And basically, each one of us is a galaxy. What we're looking at is a sperm entering an egg. Each one of us is a universe or a galaxy. And they can't teach us nothing. There's only one truth and we can't escape it, but they can hide it. So instead of giving you this one, telling the truth that you were the creation of a new galaxy in the universe. Each and every single human walking around has the same amount of energy spiraling up and down their spinal cord that NASA teaches you is at the middle of a galaxy. Each spirit is a spiral. And if you look at a galaxy, that's all it is, guys. All of us humans interacting with each other are like galaxies merging or repelling, attracting or repelling. So each human is a galaxy, and all of these galaxies exist within this one universe. But every single sperm that entered the egg that made contact with this Stargate is a creation of a new galaxy or this new spiraling energy within the universe, okay? Because every single human is a vortex of energy. So each one of us, our auric field literally look like the Milky Way galaxy. Each one of us is a galaxy. And if this sperm making contact with the egg shows how us galaxies are created, then it's no wonder that we get images like this from NASA showing us how galaxies are created. All right. Here again is a way that the ancestors tried to describe it. They personified the sperm as a little man with a tail, and him going inside of that black hole, right, was his entrance to the universe. And it's the same way when he exits, that he's going to be a Nagini or a sperm entering a black hole at the middle of the earth. So this fractal code will never stop of the sperm and the egg or the spaghetti and meatball or the 0 and 1, if you will, the baseball and the baseball bat. That's the binary code. If you want to know what I'm talking about this binary code, this 0 and 1, just look in front of you. 0 and 1. It's the sacred geometry of this whole black hole and singularity. And let's go ahead and take Noah off. Let's go ahead and show you what's going on here. So back to the God Anu. You see that he's inside of this little hole right there, right? And that's what I'm really trying to show. Let's take this slow. So when we look at the God Anu, it literally translates to ANEW as well, because all things are made new at the center of the earth. I'm going to say that again. The God that we see here at the center is the God Anu, and all things in our universe literally become new again, or they're recreated at the center of the earth. So when Jesus said that I make all things new again, Jesus was personifying the same concept of this God Anu right here. And you can see that Jesus had a halo around his head. This guy just got a halo around his waist. But instead of the dove landing on the cross, he just got wings above his arms out. He still got a crown of thorns. And this God represented the same thing Christ represented: renewal, rebirth, which is why his sacred geometry is that of a female uterus. All things are made new again at the center of the earth. This God also became a deity called Santa, but the name Santa is just another way to say center. When we talk about the center of the earth, center, Santa, center, Santa. I keep telling y'all that the name Santa is just them hiding the word center, because this God in his image became Santa. As you can see his reindeers down there pulling his chariot. Come on now, folks, let me drop a bomb. You can see this whole Santa concept right there with the reindeers and the chariot and the North Pole. Yeah, we can see it. So remember that the name Santa is really center. This God is personifying what happens at the center of the earth. And I want to stress that. So now check this out. Here's another form in the ancestral world of what happened at the center of the earth. Now, let's go ahead and show you something real quick. Here is the equation which represent a person falling into a black hole when we're dealing with spaghettification as it is explained through quantum universe. All right. And this picture I really wanted to focus on, because when you see this little man right here falling inside of this little hole right here, these people ain't creating no new concept. That's what this dude mean right here. This Nagini was our ancestors teaching you what they're trying to teach you here with the man falling into the black hole. When I showed you the aurora borealis light, that's a soul being sucked into the black hole at the North Pole, according to the ancestors. So this is why that's a little green serpent dude. See what I'm saying? Once he started getting sucked into the North Pole, right? They call it spaghettification. Why do they call it that? Because the soul in this case shapes like a spaghetti noodle or a sperm cell. But check this out. This is the reason why the Hindu made this carving right here, to explain a very divine concept of how our energy enters and exits these realms through these stargates. So when we look at modern science interpretation of spaghettification and entering a black hole, right? This was the ancient Hindu telling us the same thing hundreds of years ago. So let's keep this moving, because a lot of stuff we already went over, and I got a surprise for y'all. Like and share the video. I'm going to be opening up the call lines today. So check this out, guys. Remember, when you look at this image, this is the Tesla T, right? Why am I bringing that up? I want to talk a little bit about Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk, everybody love him today, but the way they love him is that of a savior, right? And one thing I wanted to point out is that the world is really putting a lot on his shoulders as it comes to shaping what everything's going to look like in the near future. Hold on a minute. One thing I want to point out to everybody real quick. There's a God by the name of Yahweh, which is just another form of Anu. All right. And I want to break some down real quick. Let's pull him up. All right. So check this out, y'all. One more, and I want to point this out before we move forward, because we about to hit the gas and go a bit deep now. So again, take this information I'm giving you now and attach it to all of the previous videos associated with this, and you'll get a very clear picture. Now, when we look at the God Anu inside of this little hole right here, I really want y'all to be clear to compare that to this image. That's what I need you to do. It's a reason I'm doing that, right? I want you to know something, because what happens at the North Pole is we spaghettify. The consciousness falls into a black hole and transport itself out of this earth. That's what this whole picture represents. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because the God of the North Pole ain't really a God. It's a concept. It's a happening. It's something that happens to all of us when we're entering and exiting these different realms. And it happens at the center. So there is no God of the North Pole. What happens at the North Pole is simply a divine action of transportation. Okay? And it just so happened to be the most advanced and intelligent form of travel in our universe. And that's what they're trying to reverse engineer with the CERN portal. So look, when you see this man falling into the black hole right here, I just want to train your mind to taking a modern concept like this with the advanced equation, right, and the fancy word spaghettification. But I want you to train yourself to saying, this is nothing modern, it's nothing new. And when I show you images like this, it's the same thing. So when you see the God Anu inside of this little hole right here, it's the same thing we see here. All things come new again when you fall past that event horizon. And you can go research black holes yourself. In other words, whatever fell into a black hole, it cannot come out the same on the other side. transformation takes place through here. It's like a tuning sort of thing going on. Understand that whatever falls into a black hole doesn't come out the other side the same. Your sperm, when you were a sperm, you fell in a black hole. They call it an egg, but it's really the word edge. And I'll give you the etymology right now. The egg is the edge of a black hole, man. The word egg literally means edge because the female egg is the edge of one universe and the beginning of another universe. If I'm about to show you the etymology of the word though, so you don't think I'm lying. Here go the word egg right here. Why are they telling you to see edge? What does the word egg has to do with the word edge? You know why? It's because a female egg is the gateway into the earth. It ain't an egg, it's an edge, it's a black hole. It's a way for a spirit to go inside of a body, inside of that woman's body, and ultimately inside of its own body. Y'all, I'm telling you that the images they giving you of a female egg is bull, y'all. All of these cartoons. I'm telling y'all now, a female egg is a Stargate, man. It's no different than what the stars we see in the sky. This female egg that we see right here is no different than this black hole rim. When the sperm went inside of the egg, that's when spaghettification happened. So look, if you look at the God that represent everything I'm teaching, look at the way he's shaped. Look at the way this God shaped. Now look at the female uterus right here. This is the God Anu right here. See him? So only thing I want y'all to understand here, right? The female egg ain't what they teaching us, okay? The female egg is more of a portal or a stargate. And that's why I keep showing you that the word egg is actually the word edge. The sperm reached the edge of its world. It'll be like us going to the North Pole and seeing this portal that's leading into another world. It'll be the same thing the sperm saw when it saw the egg. It actually saw the edge. It'll be like us traveling into this thing right here. You want to know how the sperm knew how to find the egg? Because this is all summed up with one word, magnetism. And look, if you look at how the sperm enter around the egg at all of those angles like that, they're pouring into the egg like water falling into a black hole, like a 360 waterfall. The way the sperm enters the egg is just like what we see right here. This is why they call us fallen angels. Fallen angels. I feel sorry for that duck right there, man. I ain't gonna even lie, bro. That duck at the point of no return. There's no turning around and swimming back for that duck right there, man. Po ducky. He finna go on a long trip to the underworld sewage system. Let's stop. Let's just go. But anyway, it ain't the same when we go through the North Pole, though. Hopefully it ain't, goddammit. I'm just fucking with y'all. Let me quit being funny. Nah, but let's get serious with this shit. So that the way that there's water pour into there though, no cap, is the way that the sperm pour into the egg, man. They try to show, all this chaos and shit. I'm gonna tell you, I think every single sperm is a different version of you in a whole nother universe. And every sperm, right, was a version of you born into an alternate reality. They say that the sperm, your daddy shot a bunch of sperm and they was racing and shit. I don't believe that. I believe all them other sperms are the other versions of you in them dream worlds when you be dreaming. Because your mama gave birth to you in them dreams. If you start dreaming tonight, it's another version of your mama that gave birth to you there too. Yo, that was one of them sperm cells when your dad, listen. Once you born into the center of this multiverse, you're reflected outward to infinity. So that goes for every action. If one dude walk in a mirror house and slap himself, 1,000 different versions of him just slap theyself a different way because it's a different angle in the mirror house. So when your daddy gave birth to you, you got to keep in mind your daddy an infinite being just like you that met your mama in all of these universes. The only thing that was that see, this ain't random. This ain't a random act. You're a divine act, not a random act. Each and every single one of us, we're in a divine act, not a random act, and we're a divine act that's multiplied by infinity, meaning that your mama met your daddy an infinite amount of times and gave birth to you in every single infinite universe, which is why you exist in all of these different dream realities already with a body and everything. What we're trying to do at this time is access those alternate realities through a process called astral projection. That's our next phase of graduation as humanity. That's what we got to do now. So let's examine some more about the black concept of a black hole, because this gonna explain so much about how nature transports the consciousness and just electromagnetism in general. Now, when you look at, I want to talk about Elon Musk for a minute, guys, because listen to me. The name Elon is the word alien. Elon Musk is not human. I don't think he is. I think Elon Musk is the first artificial intelligence to inhabit a human skin. I'm just a tinfoil hatter like that. Now, the name Elon Musk is the words alien musket. A musket is like a cannon or a gun that they shoot the humans out of. You know, when they put the human cannons, when they put the human inside of a little cannon and they shoot him out. So it's like alien musket. Now think about the highlight of Elon Musk technology is to transport the consciousness out of the body with Neuralink, which this is a spiritual cannon to blast the soul out of the body. So this is a musket. If you really think about it, something that can eject the soul out of the body would be considered a musket sort of device. Now, everything that Elon Musk is creating seems alien to our world, which is why he's such a rock star. We equate alien technology with futuristic technology. So they've already trained us for the coming of this God Yahweh, which is, I think, the embodiment of this Yahweh energy on a scientific level is Elon Musk and everything associated with Tesla. Now let's talk about the God Yahweh a minute, because remember earlier when we was talking about Anu, really this God is personifying something very simple that I want y'all to think about. This God is literally personifying the mind. Why is that important? Because the mind, the sharpest mind, is who's going to rule on this earth. The sharpest and brightest of minds are the gods on this earth. And that's what this image represents, man's mind as a beacon of light. And we have not accessed our mind power as a people. You know why? We too busy trying to access our Christ power, our Holy Ghost power. It's easy to shout scriptures than use your mind. It's easier to read the Quran and critical think. It's easier to go to church than think technological and compete and use your mind. And you know what? Using your mind don't mean being technological. The best thing you can do is understand that the mind itself is the highest form of technology. And using your mind is something you got to do before you can even begin to conceive of any technology. So the fact that when you start using your mind, man will realize there's nothing greater or higher than the mind, which is why it was called the Most High, which is what this God Yahweh is personifying. What is this God personifying? Let's go now and show you something. That light you see, that's what this is the personification of. You see, the God Yahweh is seated on a throne. And that's literally what this light, the mind, is seated on. Okay? So they call it the seat of the soul. And the light in the back of that brain is what Yahweh is personifying here. Now, a lot of people think that Yahweh is an alien God, but Yahweh is just your mind, and you've become alienated to your own mind, and that's the reason why humans don't think. We just feel. Check this out, y'all. You know what that's called? A blind man. You just feel. Gotta think. You need to be able to see and access and assess what you've seen as well. Now check about this God Yahweh right here. You see how this whole thing looked like a brain, and in the middle of the brain we have this God here, right? That's the pineal gland. That's the pineal. We gotta quit worshiping these gods literally and start deciphering it and getting the science behind it, because you got grown ass people believing in fairy tales, and it's getting real annoying. Everybody think Yahweh is an alien, because when you start studying about this God, it talks about this deity that can leave the earth and go to other worlds. And since we don't know that that's called our consciousness, we think it's Christ consciousness. No, that's your consciousness, dude. You can do it too. This part of us that can go to the heavens is literally what was personified here. So everybody think Yahweh is an alien. But you know why people think Yahweh is an alien? Now, when I show you this, it's going to fuck you up. Watch this. Sacred geometry, guys. Watch this. Here's why people think Yahweh is an alien. I want y'all to look at this right here. Because when we think of alien, this is what we think of. But you know what's the crazy shit? We're really alienated to what we are. Watch this. Here is the brain and the nervous system. I'm going to say that again. Here is a picture of the human brain. And what you see hanging there is the nervous system. Now watch how deep this is, y'all. When you look at the human brain attached to the nervous system, guess what it resembles? Watch this. The UFO. Now watch how crazy this is. How our consciousness leaves our body and go to these other alternate realities is by working its way from the base of the spine all the way up to what's called a crown chakra. And that's the chakra that captures the consciousness and then transports it so that it can experience reality in these dream worlds. And when it get there and lands in those bodies, what you're able to do is to be conscious of what another version of you is doing in another alternate reality. When you come back to this world, you're no longer conscious of what's happening with the other versions of you in these alternate realities until the consciousness revisits these places. It's the consciousness that allow you to be conscious, whether in this world or a dream world. And guess what? The consciousness doesn't distinguish which one is real. That is very, very important for you to know, that your consciousness is a wanderer. And every place it goes, it considers home. Your consciousness don't distinguish between this world or another world. It's cramming it all together as one big reality. What does that mean? You're multidimensional. You're multidimensional. Your consciousness ain't experiencing reality separately. It's doing it simultaneously with all these other versions of you, whether you're conscious of it or not. Right now, there's another version of you doing what he's doing in another world. You just ain't conscious of it. Our ancestors had the science to project themselves out of the body and be conscious of what these other versions of themselves were doing in these other universes. Now, when you leave these other versions, they're going to continue to do what they do on autopilot. You just ain't conscious of it, but they're running on autopilot because everything that your energy does in one body, it does it in all of them. It's like a chain of puppets strung together. It's a mirror house effect. One affects all. You have all of these different experiences that's being carried out. And it's not just this one. This is the one you've been trapped in. We've lost our ability to be multidimensional. So when you look at the UFO concept, it's just the brain and the brain stalk. And even if you look at when they say an idea is an explosion, well, would you look at that? There go Thor's hammer. And Thor's hammer just so happened to be an explosion, which just so happened to resembles the UFO ship, which just so happened to resembles the brain on the nervous system. So Yahweh is not no alien. Yahweh is not an alien. Yahweh is just a concept that we've become alienated to. That's all. That's all, y'all. Now check this out. Let me show you another depiction of Yahweh. Now, remember earlier that I was comparing this God Anu to Noah. Remember? I can bring it back out for you real quick. No problem. Here we go. Because Anu is Nuah or Noah. And here's an image of Noah. And here's an image of Yahweh. Now, what do they have in common, though? Remember? Let's do the comparisons. Let's look at the guy on the left right there. Let's look at this God on the left right here. You see how he's rolling on this little chariot and he got the little reindeers with him? Now, let's go back to Yahweh. You see how Yahweh rolling on this little chariot? Now, Yahweh's supposed to represent the centering energy at the North Pole too, or Santa Claus. Why is Yahweh sending a doggone bird out of a box? Who saw what I taught yesterday about Noah sending a bird out the box? Come on, bro. Drop a 1 in the chat room if I went in deep yesterday about Noah releasing the bird. Hey, if you didn't see all the previous streams I did on this, you really robbing yourself. See, check it out. Noah releasing the bird out of the black box. I taught all about this yesterday, so I'm not going to be redundant. Only thing I'm going to point out today is we can tie that in to Yahweh too. So here go a picture of Yahweh inside of a box. Yahweh is literally sitting inside of a box and he's releasing a bird out. And here go a picture of Noah doing the same thing. So look at that now. I keep telling y'all, only person teaching the truth is Sanchez. The God Anu, Jesus Christ, Serapis, Yahweh, Anubis, Anunnaki, all of it the same concept being hidden behind mysticism and a bunch of who want to be deep. And they sound like Oswald Bates. See, our ancestors come from reptilian creatures that come from Sirius star system. And you know our ancestors were giant big black people with scaly skin. And it's like, man, I never want to meet my ancestors if you right. Them some scary ass ancestors and they aliens. Yeah, man, we come from aliens. We gods. We Atlanteans. We ain't from this world. We the original black man, black woman. See, we come from Sirius star system. We beamed down to the earth to teach the white man how to bathe, and we gave him soap, and then we beamed back out. And we just came down here to mine gold. How many of you ever heard that dumb shit? Yeah, man. We created humans to mine gold. You got these advanced ass aliens that can time travel, and they ain't got no technology to mine that gold up out the ground. Are you serious? If they were so advanced, they were supposed to have some technology that make them snap their fucking finger and the gold just da-da. Y'all created smelly, stanky humans that sweat, boo-boo, and pee-pee to mine gold. And they smoke cigarettes, use condoms, and drive cars and pollute the earth. But we got our gold. Yeah, those are some smart ancestors. Show me any theory that a nigga teaching about this origin story and I'll show you a big old dummy. So here we go with the God Yahweh releasing the bird up out the box. And here we go with Noah doing the same. We're going to stay on your head. We're going to show them that there's only one God, that this new world order got everybody worshiping in different ways. And a bunch of niggas that think they smart. You know, we gonna get back to them later. Now hold on a second. Time to move forward with where we at. So check it out, guys. Most syncretism. When you look at this whole concept of a doggone light sucking up a physical human, that's stupid than a motherfucker. Let me show you something what they don't want to teach y'all. The concept of these aliens that's ruling our earth is that they're trying to capture our soul, which is a beacon of light, man. How are they trying to capture our soul? By convincing your soul that it's the body and projecting by using the light of your own soul to project your own hologram. And that's literally called damnation, because that will damn your light onto this earth. Listen to me what I'm telling you. In Ghostbusters, they got a little black box that can suck up these ghosts. And when they want to talk to the ghost, they open it up like Pop Smoke hologram, and the ghost be above the box and shit. Like, yeah, my nigga. This is how they said we're going to be communicating with dead loved ones in the future. This lady that you see right here, she's a hologram. This is not even a real lady. So they showing you how advanced they are with this shit. We already in the Star Trek age is what I'm telling you, man. So once they extract the consciousness from the body, your consciousness is a pure, bright light. And they're going to take that light and form it into a hologram of you. And when they do that, your light won't be able to pass over into the North Pole, into the Aurora Borealis. It's going to be trapped in a box, which is the symbol of their god. It's a black cube. Put the name of that scary movie in the chat room, y'all, where that man was capturing them souls in that little black box. Just like the Ghostbusters. They want to get our ghosts, man. Like Pop Smoke and Tupac and them. Folks got 360 contracts where you literally signing over your soul to where they can trap your shit in a box and project your ass forever, nigga. Check this shit out, right? They can capture your consciousness and you can just live out your life as a holographic projection. And they saying they're going to be able to do this by 2045. So check this out. When you look at the doggone light sucking up the human, these people that's creating this technology, they can't be human, y'all. Because why would they want to trap, like it said, you know what they said? They said the devil loved the earth and the devil is stuck onto the earth and he want to condemn everybody to be stuck on the earth with him. So this what these devils doing to make everybody be stuck here like them. Because when our light of our soul leave this body, it's supposed to go back home to the ancestral land through the North Pole. They're trying to intercept. They trying to intercept your ass into a box by telling them, we can make you immortal. You can stay here forever. What? Why would I want to stay here forever? That sounds just like what the Bible told me Satan wanted to do. Satan wanted to keep you bound to the earth with him for all of eternity in damnation. Now, Christians read their Bible, but still gonna embrace this technology, I'm telling you. So now check the one that's creating the technology to harvest our fucking souls. Because one of the technologies that's gonna make that possible is Neuralink, which is gonna be created by Tesla, owned by Elon Musk. I told you that the name Elon is alien. And people been saying for generations that there are a hybrid group of humans amongst us, or archons, if you will, that are trying to harvest our souls. And they said that they're not like us. They're some sort of different spiritual being. And guess how they said we can find out who they are? Because they look just like us. They said we can find them out by looking at their ways and their actions. And whatever they trying to do is going to ultimately lead to putting your soul in prison. And look at what they trying to do with all this technology, man. They showing who they are, man. These people said that death and aging is a disease that they got to cure. And the people that cure disease wear the serpent symbol. The serpent symbol and the Jesus cross. Because they the saviors. I'm going to fix death. I'm going to solve this problem called death. Death ain't a problem. It's a portal. Uh-oh, shit, man. Drop my bomb. Death ain't no problem. It's a portal. When man think death is a problem and he forgot it's a portal, then he gonna block that portal and clog it up and say, and that's when the Bible say, in these days, man will seek death, but shall not find it. Man gonna seek death, but he ain't gonna find it. That's in your Bible. Because man think death is a problem he gotta solve. So when man solve that problem, he literally gonna get rid of death, and by doing so, closing that portal that allows souls to leave the earth. Because he telling you immortality is just you being trapped on the earth. You're gonna be immortal whether you stay on the earth, whether you go to the next universe or wherever you go, you're gonna be good and immortal. So he ain't giving you immortality, he giving you condemnation, which is just saying, I can keep you here. So look at the company that's going to lay the groundwork for that. The red dragon with those fang teeth. Look at him. Sucking the soul up out the body. And he's showing you with his symbol. Y'all don't look at these symbols. That this is the Baphomet goat, man. Everybody part of this new age agenda and this thing to harvest the soul of man. Look at this Baphomet goat. Look at his head. See, his head represents everything I've been trying to show you here. See, this whole symbol right here is the Baphomet goat. Here go his goatee. Why you think they call it a goatee? I don't like with goatees and long beards, man. I'm telling you, you know why? They some capitalistic, cutthroat, shiesty ass niggas. Like those. And right now, if the shoe fit, wear it. If it don't, I ain't talking to you. Like I grew up like in Philadelphia freeway. And like in Philadelphia got the big long beards and shit. And they say it's religious, right? Allah, all that. But it's Baphometic. They call it a goatee, but you ain't no goddamn goat. Why don't they call it a man-tee? Well, I'm a man. I ain't no fucking goat. So if I grow my goddamn beard out, why the fuck are you calling it a goatee and I'm a man? I'm not an animal. I ain't a goat. Why niggas call it a goatee? Because you know that you copying off the devil, man. Keep it real. All of these fraternity niggas, Freemasonic, Rahim, Ishmael, Ba, Akbar ass niggas, these are Masonic brotherhood ass niggas who cutthroat or set you up, black mafia ass, capitalistic, all about a dollar ass nigga. And that's why he got that 5-pointed star on his forehead, just like Birdman. To do anything for $1, including sell their soul. This is the God of this world. You got to understand, a lot of niggas that wear these beards and shit, it's a symbol of affiliation. And it's because their God, you got to think about it. These dudes look at a bunch of bearded gods all day. Abraham got a big ass beard down here. Did you see Abraham beard? And you know they was in tomato sauce and shit back in them days. So you know Abraham got some ragu dried up in his shit. Keep it real. If you don't think Moses got some pesto sauce in that beard, you're a fool. Them Greeks, hummus, dropping everything in that damn beard. And call it a goatee. Because you copying off the damn devil, which is a goat god. You can't tell me no other reason why you call it a goatee, but that you saying that you like the devil's style. Well, I call it a goatee because you know goats got it. Because goats got it. But nigga, you a human. So a nigga looked at a goat and said, I like that beard that goat got. I'm going to grow my shit like a goat. Copying off a damn goat. So when you look at this Tesla T, you can see the goatee. This is why the pharaohs in Egypt wore the pointed beards too. They were all worshiping the goddamn devil too. The pharaohs in Egypt got the little fake goatee beards the same way. Now let's move on. So Tesla symbol is the Baphomet. We know this is a devilish agenda that they trying to implement on the world to get your soul. So here go the UFO ship, and here go the Tesla T. Elon is alien. Elon is a fifth dimensional being that's trying to create the technology to harvest man's soul. I keep telling y'all that. You know what? Folks think I'm tripping, but I'm going to tell y'all something. I think when it comes to the agenda that's being carried out on Earth, that it may be one bit blockchain mind of people carrying out the agenda of a single source God. From Kanye West to all of your celebrities, that at some point, you get so in deep to these motherfucking archons that they let you go online. And what I mean by go online, you lose your individual consciousness and you become part of a shared blockchain. Just like they say in the alien movies and Star Wars and shit. The Borg. So you may have a whole bunch of powerful people on Earth sharing one mind, carrying out one single agenda from some interdimensional being that ain't from Earth. And whatever this being is that's controlling the power for people on this Earth, it's trying to create a portal from this Earth to whatever world it's from. And once that happened, I think all hell gonna break loose. So that's what CERN is about. That's what Neuralink is about. This is alien technology. We don't understand that man is creating a technology right now to be able to intercept consciousness. That should make motherfuckers really talk about it. That's the shit that the Christians read about in the Bible with condemnation. Speaking of condemnation, let's break that down another way too. When they invented the condom, they were condemning souls too from entering and exiting the earth. Because the condom is what? A dam. The condom that you put on your penis, it acts like a dam and it blocks the sperm from pouring through to the vagina. So the condom is condemned. A condom. So check it out. When you look at the UFO concept and compare it to the Tesla T, these people are vampires, man. They go to fangs. They want to suck the soul up. And that's what this is. Siphoning the soul out the body. Spirit harvesting at a higher, more agricultural and technological format of spirit harvesting. We're talking about big time agriculture. When we speak words like harvesting, this would be the difference between some backyard gardener versus goddamn Monsanto, wide scale harvesting. So the technology to do this kind of massive soul harvesting is a CERN machine, which is accelerating the ether. And once it reaches a certain threshold, it'll open up this wormhole between our world and these particular beings that we talking about. So let me show you something about the CERN. Because when you look at the CERN, you're really looking at the bottom side of a UFO ship. You know, when you look at this CERN machine, you need to open up your eyes, and what you need to think about is that is the bottom side of this UFO ship, okay? So that's why I'm telling you is one big agenda. And but Neuralink would be the mediator for all of this to happen, because you need the technology to transport the soul from the body. And the company that's going to be, like I said, doing that is this company. And that's why their logo looks like this. And his name is Alien, or Elon. Alien, Elon. Now, Yahweh is an alien to a lot of people. And this is why I'm showing you. But the embodiment of Yahweh on our earth is literally the technological agenda that's being carried out single-handedly when it comes to the spiritual aspect by Tesla, right? So like I said, there's an explosion. There's the UFO ship. Why am I bringing forth the explosion? Well, this is Thor's hammer, and the explosion is dealing with the Big Bang, the creation of our universe. At the middle of our universe, there's a tree of life, and this is what it looked like. It's an ethereal tree made out of the light of the aurora borealis. Okay, so when they say that our entire universe started from the Big Bang, and the Big Bang is at the center of the universe, and it projected the universe outward from the Big Bang, going to the center of the earth, we will see this ethereal tree, which branches, stretches all the way out to the ends of our earth. And that's literally talking about the light of the aurora borealis. And just like trees are green, this is a green tree. Isn't that beautiful? That all of these little green streaks you see are Naginis, or souls going home. But it's actually why the North Pole is said to be an ancestral tree, like the movie Avatar. Remember the ancestor tree in the movie Avatar? Why did they say that? Why would you have a tree that's made out of ancestors? That don't even make sense. Well, now it do. It does now. A tree of light. Because the light is the souls of the dead. Here's from the movie Avatar called the ancestral tree. And those avatar creatures were very mad when you tried to chop that tree down, because that's how they reincarnate. That's how they stay immortal. Now, y'all, we ain't been able to go to the North Pole in our generation. We don't know what they doing at the North Pole, but I can guess they need a giant like Paul Bunyan to chop down this big ancestral tree. Paul Bunyan wore a checker grid coat that's Masonic. That's saying when man become a giant, he can chop down the biggest tree in the universe, which is the North Pole, the trunk of the cosmic tree that gave birth to all life. And that's when he fire up that CERN machine. That CERN, think of an axe. What does the axe look like? The Tesla logo, the Thor hammer. This is what man want to do, to trap us on the earth. You know why? Because the way out of this earth is at the North Pole through that tree of life, Jacob's ladder, the beanstalk. So what they doing is trying to trap us in here. Just like in the movie. Think about it. Why would they think of that? Why would some dude in Avatar say, I'm going to think of a movie of these spiritual beings that live in their own little heaven, and we going to go in there as the military and fuck it up and chop they tree of life down and damn they souls. Just the fact that you thought of that and made it into a movie show what type of shit on your mind. Why is that even on your mind? I wouldn't even be ever think of no movie like that. I always think some suspect about you able to think of something like that. That's on your mind. It's on your mind to curse a motherfucker's soul, and you know that it's some eternal tree that you need to destroy to make it happen. Bro, these folks is evil because they know the truth that when our ancestors talked about the tree of life at the middle of our earth, it's a big ass tree made out of the souls of our dead ancestors. Look at that. This light is beautiful. That is tree branches of a tree of light. Let me show you some sacred tree. This movie Avatar wasn't lying, man. They know the truth. The Mayans said this tree in the middle of our earth is so fucking tall it extends to the heavens. And what color is a tree? It's green. The Mayans said the branches of this tree, it spans all the way across to the four corners of the earth. And guess what we know? The same with these northern lights. They get fainter and fainter as they go out, but they go out forever. The tail get fainter and fainter. But so think about that. You know, just like a tree branch get thinner and thinner as it get to the tip and thicker when it's closer to the fucking trunk. This light is brighter when it's close to the North Pole. You actually have an auroric borealic tail connecting from your body to the North Pole, but you so far away from the North Pole, you can't even see the light that's connecting you to the tree trunk. Because from this far away, light get dimmer and dimmer. Now check it out. If we were to journey back home, our body would start to glow and glow and glow. The closer we get to the pole, we'll see we ain't really physical. That the further we get away from the North Pole, the more realer the trick of physicality become. The more realer the illusion become. But it's like this, right? If I got a projecting machine and I'm projecting a movie on the wall, when the further away I pull that projecting machine from the wall, the more realer that the movie get. The closer I put the projector machine to the wall, you can't even see the movie. It's too close. It's a bright ass light. You got to dim the light out a little bit. It's so close to the wall that at that closeness to the wall, when you turn it on, it's so fucking bright that it don't look right. So guess what you got to do? You got to move the projector machine back and you'll get a good picture. Now, if you go back too far, it get dim, it'll go away. But at that right sweet spot is where we get the perfect picture. That's what they call Earth. All of life that exists in this area in the universe is like that sweet spot on a projector machine that give a perfect picture that make up this reality we see. But we don't see this reality like this the closer we get to the North Pole. The more it start to be translucent or dream-like, holographic in nature. It start to break down. So that's the whole thing about the sweet spot that where we able to inhabit where we live at. But when you think about how all of this light flows into the pole, this huge pole, it looked like a big ass green tree. And the ancestors said that light is the dead souls going home. And in this movie, Avatar, they literally took that concept and turned it into the ancestor tree in the movie Avatar. If you didn't watch it, go watch it. This tree is got light on it. Those are like ghosts, growing on that tree. And they're literally knowing the truth about the North Pole, man. And it's just, it makes me mad, you know. So there we go. I'm just telling you that Elon Musk is this alien that's trying to harvest our souls. And it ain't just Elon Musk. This is a whole alien agenda going on Earth. And this God, Yahweh, represents the deity that's personifying that agenda. Now, we're going to talk some more about this God, Yahweh here, and go a little bit deeper. Just give me a minute to get these slides together. So here we go. Hold on a sec. So again, when we see images like this of Yahweh, we're simply knowing that Yahweh is the pineal gland, okay, inside of your brain. Before I take that picture off, I want you to know what it means. This picture of Yahweh, in the middle of that brain looking shape, is because Yahweh is personifying again the mind. It is the mind that allows you to connect with the so-called outside world, but ain't nothing outside. It's all inside where we see Yahweh at. But the mind is projecting its will outside of itself. And that's why we see an arm of Yahweh extending outside of the brain in the direct center of the forehead, which would be the third eye. The third eye. Showing that the mind is what allowed a man to transform reality. So when man stopped using his mind, man stopped transforming. And man starts saying little stupid, dumb shit like, I don't never change. I don't never change. How long you been knowing me? Ain't I always been the same? Ain't I always been the same? Ain't I? Ain't I? Ain't I? Yeah, that's when you go to saying little stupid shit like that and thinking that that's something to be proud of. Yeah, I always been the same. I ain't never changed. I've been saying this same stuff since high school. Ain't I been keeping it solid? Ain't I been solid? Bruce Lee didn't say be solid. He said be water. A rock can't flow, but water can. You niggas talking about, I'm solid. I'm solid. Nigga, I'm solid, liquid, gas, and motherfucking plasma. Why the f are you just solid? No wonder we can't move as a people. Even solids change to gas and liquid, but the niggas just want to be solid. Nope. Solid. I don't deal with gas. I don't deal with liquid, just solid. Nope. That's a very brick motherfucking mind. That's really a true brickhead. The fuck? Yeah, I ain't never changed. Still live in this same city with this same barber in my same restaurant with my same friends and my same situation and my same this. You're a fucking pilgrim. You're a goddamn settler. And our ancestors weren't no motherfucking pilgrims and no settlers, you quaking ass nigga. You act like the damn oppressor. So we now see what Yahweh represents. Let's move on. Here's another image of Yahweh. What I wanted to point out this one, we really gonna go deep right here now. Because there's another part of your brain called a pituitary gland. And that's the lower part. So if the pineal is the pinnacle, which is the most high, then the pituitary is the pit, which is the most low. The pits, the pituitary. Okay. So when we take a look at the when Yahweh actually comes to the earth, this is what he looked like when he break the sky open. But if you compare this artwork to the pituitary gland, what do you see? A little man sitting on a throne. Look at your pituitary gland. It looked like a little dude sitting on top of a big old throne. Tell me I'm lying. How many of y'all can see that? I'm going to close the picture. The image I'm about to show you is your pituitary gland. But when you look at this shit, you're going to see a little man sitting in a throne. And I'm going to show you the picture. Drop a 1 in the chat room if you see the little man sitting in his throne, flying his ship. This the Men in Black movie. Who know what I'm talking about? Go ahead, put the 1s if you see what I'm talking about with that little dude sitting in his throne. Yeah, he flying his ship. He's controlling his human avatar. Yeah. He controlling his human avatar. Look at him. There go his head. He got his antenna on, connecting to his true higher self, because that's the pineal, right? But once the spirit forms itself into an organ in the brain, it looked just like a little human. Ain't that some shit? Because think about what I'm telling you. The soul ain't got a body. That's what I'm telling you. Let's look at it again. Let me show you what we're looking at. So here go the soul. When a soul descends into what we call physical matter, it projects itself downward. But before it creates this big ass body that you walking around in, it creates a little bitty body to control the big body with. So this is the energy that's powering it all right here. But this energy creates a small body for itself. And this is what it looks like. The light that's in the middle of your brain is this little dude's thinking. It's this little dude right here thinking. You hear what I'm saying? What they're calling the seat of the soul is because the soul is indeed seated, as we see here, on top of this brain stalk. And that looked like a big, comfortable cushion throne, too. All praises to the creator. God damn, that's fire. Let me see if I can find that Men in Black movie. Or was it Independence Day? It was Men in Black, little man in head. Yeah, there you go. That's you. That when they talk about the alien, you're the alien. We're the damn alien. Look at this shit. We watch these movies and we don't know that these movies tell a lot of truth. Now look at this little dude up in there controlling his avatar, controlling his big old body. What if I told you that's you, man? Check him out. There you go. This is literally the one manifesting his will through this big meat package that you dragging around. And when he ejects himself up out that throne, your whole body gonna fall down, just like a airplane when the pilot hit the eject button. You know, when the pilot in the airplane eject up out that bitch and parachute somewhere else, the plane crash. So when your pilot, which is controlling your human avatar, eject itself, when the soul leaves, the body goes down. We got to understand that we are traveling. We are soul travelers. Now check this out. This God that we see upon this throne is what they're calling Yahweh, which is why, what does he shape like? A Y. He's shaped like a Y, don't he? The alphabet Y. And because when we ask why, that's this dude right here. You calling on his name. Think about that. So this little dude right here, he got a mind inside of this little head. And that's what they're showing you right here from a side view. This is the mind in the middle of the brain. What is Brother Sanchez trying to teach you right now? What Brother Sanchez is trying to teach you right now is that your mind is this beacon of light that's layered behind two versions of you, the body and the brain. Because these are the main two things that will either hinder it or aid it when it's trying to manifest his will in this realm, the body and the brain. That's the only thing that can be a stumbling block for the mind, which is the true self, to control its avatar the right way. And I'm going to show you why, because the mind will send a command to be processed through the brain, because the brain turns the commandment of the mind, it processes that into an action. The mind, which is invisible, which is the infinite parts of you, the eternal thinker. These parts of you send a signal, a command to the processor, which is the brain. And the brain is literally this little dude right here. That's this dude. He's control of everything that's coming from on high to make sure that it's processed properly through the brain, and that the dude walking around turns it to a respectful action. And your processor can determine the quality of the action. So this connection between the mind, the brain, and the body is very crucial, because when the mind sends a signal to the body, the only thing in between the mind and the body making that action is the brain's processing. So most of the time, your soul sends a commandment to the brain to be processed, and your brain has been trained to be a bad processor. Your brain has been trained to argue with your soul, and that's like you arguing with God. Your brain ain't smarter than your mind. So why the fuck is your brain arguing with your mind when it just supposed to be listening to what the fuck is commanded to do? And this is why we say, don't overthink it. You thinking too much. Why? Because the soul ain't got to think about shit if it's all knowing. The very action of thinking is what we're calling processing mind. The average human, when you think, you're not processing mind. You're arguing with mind. Should I do this? Should I do that? No, they're going to look at it this way. No, man, but how am I pay my bills? No, you're arguing with your fucking soul. Instead of you processing what you feel and what you know you were sent here to do and just do it like Nike, you worried about, well, what if I fit? What if this or that? The soul will give up on you. It'll say, what's the need of me even having any? Your soul is up that big dormant, like at the steering wheel, like you ain't listening to me. Just on autopilot. You're an NPC. You're a non-player character. Your soul is inside of that brain, but you ain't allowing it to. Every time it's moving them knobs, you doing what you want to do. So that's the thing, we disconnected, man. That's what I'm telling you. So what disconnected the mind from the body? because that's very important considering what I just taught. I'm going to ask a very important question. What disconnected the mind from the body? And then I'm going to answer it for you now. What disconnected the mind from the body was the religion. I bet you weren't expecting that. You thought I was finna say an organ of some sort. See, your religious programming is what rewired the original natural processing that your brain's supposed to did. Your religion told you don't lean into your own understanding and just to go with the will of Yahweh, of the will of Anu. Mysticism. Instead of go with what's in your heart and in your mind. Why would the true creator give you a beautiful mind, then tell you not to use that motherfucker? That's how you know you worshiping the devil. You know you worshiping the devil if you think about what I just said. Any God telling you don't use your mind is the devil, because the true God created your beautiful mind. How dare some devil tell you not use the greatest gift that the Most High done gave you? Now check how deep this is though. Because the Pharaoh wore this ugly little cone hat with these two little antennas on the side. And it's a reason that the Pharaoh wore that. Let me see if I can find a real Pharaoh. There we go. So the only thing I'm saying about like a lot of the headdress that the Pharaoh wore, you know, what that was dealing with, man. You know, when you look at this whole thing with the goatee, the pointed beard, with the headdress bursting out of each side like a ram, that's really dealing with this dude right here. If you look at this dude right here, what they call it in the pituitary or whatever, it looked like a little dude sitting on a throne. And there go his feet right there hanging out the bottom. Here go his rib cage, right? Just like the men in black. There he go right there. That's what I'm telling you. This God right here replaced the truth that it ain't no God in heaven. The Most High is your mind inside of your goddamn brain. Everything that you waiting on Jesus to do, you knuckleheaded ass, you could have been done it had you been thinking and using critical thinking instead of memorizing scriptures your whole goddamn life. It don't take no damn no kind of thinking to memorize a goddamn scripture. It don't take the gangsters the same amount of effort to memorize a rap song. All of y'all is slow as hell. Dumb as fuck. Thinking intelligence is equated to memorization of your indoctrination.
Stupid.
Got a mind but won't use it. You don't even use to use memory ain't even to use your mind, bro. A lot of niggas think they smart and they think they using their mind because they got good memory. Nigga, IQ is equated to critical thinking, not good memory. You know how many rap songs I can remember that make me smart, huh? Your memory don't mean shit if you don't remember how to motherfucking activate your mind. So check this out. Your body don't seem to do what the you want it to do. Now do it. You know why? Because you ain't listening to the dude that's at the steering wheel, dummy. It's 2022 and I'm tired of y'all not accessing your God power. So I'm going to give you some coaching, some motivation, and I'm going to talk to you this way because I know it's a couple of black people that need to hear it this way today. So hit the fireballs if you rocking with this energy, baby. Y'all know how we do it. Put the wands up. I'm finna go even deep, though. We finna get it in. Hold on a minute. Oh yeah, see, you know why your body won't do what you want it to do? I'm gonna show you why you gonna die with regrets if you don't listen up. Because the reason you're gonna die with regrets is the same reason you go to sleep a lot with regrets. See, I'm preaching to somebody right now. They need to hear this. Let me show you something. You lay in the bed at night and you think about your day and you say, I shouldn't have did this and I shouldn't have did that. You know why? You're not living in your mind. You living in your brain. And the dude that's at the control wheels ain't able to really do his job because your avatar just walking around on autopilot, not listening to the dude at the control mechanisms. Won't you start living in your mind and get out of your brain? Won't you start living in your mind and get out of your body? Because the moment you get out of your body, you're going to meet me on the other side, baby. This is called astral projection, out of body experience. You got to get out your brain first, though. Yeah, you got to break out of your cell before you break off the prison yard. So you got to get out of your brain before you can even get out of your body and have an out-of-body experience. But every day you live should be an out-of-body experience. I'm so in my mind that I be forgetting I'm walking. And it's like my body on autopilot and I'm up here chilling in my own mind. And I'm walking, I'm jogging, and it's like my body doing it on its own. And I'm all in my mind watching a whole nother, I'm thinking about some other shit. I spend so much time with my consciousness in this seat right here that if you can look at my damn throne cushion, it look worn out than a motherfucker. Some of y'all thrones, the cushion on it look brand new. You ain't set your ass down in your own mind and got comfy on this seat. In fact, some of you are allergic to critical thinking. But the darkness in between your ears is your damn heaven, fool. Embrace it. Because good things can be born out of that. Now check how deep this is. Once you let this man right here do his job, you won't have no regrets about your actions at the end of the day. You will be pleased with everything you did. You know why? The reason you saying to yourself when you die that I regret this or regret that, that's this dude cussing you the fuck out. He's saying, I said I hit the left button and you went right. Nigga, I'm hitting the up button. What are you doing, bro? I'm pressing up. Why are you ducking down? See, once he gotta cuss your ass out a lot in life, he just gonna make you repeat the shit again. See, that's your teacher. That's your judge. That's in the throne. That's seated at the throne. If you ain't got a proper relationship with him, and what I mean by you, I'm talking about the body. The bodily part of you that connects you to the earth, your job, your stomach growling, your damn heart sex drive. If that ain't got a good relationship with the dude at this control wheel, your behavior gonna be reckless. And everybody regrets getting in a fucking wreck now, don't we? So if you don't want to live with regrets, don't live with motherfucking wrecks. Your life is a wreck. You know why? If I put you in a fucking car and told you to hit the gas, but you can't touch the steering wheel, what you think gonna happen? You gonna wreck.
Stupid.
So your fucking body is a car. And every day you hit the gas and you don't even control the motherfucking steering wheel. And you wonder why each day of your life is a damn wreck. Because this dude right here is at the steering wheel. Quit trying to govern your body simply through the brain logic. And let your mind shine. Because your mind gonna steer you in the right direction, but you gotta listen. Now, if I played a video game with you, me and you playing NBA Live, and you hitting the shoot button, and that won't shoot the ball, you'll say, I'm cheating, man. Restart the game. You gotta reset it. That's called reincarnation. If there's a flaw in a simulation, the soul will hit the reset button, and that's what I'm trying to save y'all from. I've been learned how to stop living with regrets. I rehearse my actions because life is a play. See, every day you live, every action you took in that day is recorded in time. You can't go and undo that. So once that becomes a reality, you learn how to rehearse your actions. And life becomes a ritual to you. It becomes a play. You know why? When we play, we got like a video game controller, right? Life is a play because this dude right here is at the control mechanism, and he's the one playing it all out. Now, if he's not allowed to play it out because he hit right and you went left, just like in that video game, we got to reset it because it's been compromised and it's not fair. And it ain't fair to your soul that your body won't listen to God like a fool. Be comfortable with your own mind, because religion have done a number on us and made us doubt ourselves. So real quick, like and share the video if you can, guys.
Please like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Be sure to select all so that you can receive notifications every time we go live and upload to the channel.
So this dude right here, right? Hold on. This dude that you see right here, seated on the throne in the middle of the brain, that's God, man. That's the G in the center of the Masonic square and compass. That's literally God. This whole little small guy in the brain right there. So here he go right here is called Yahweh. So this God here is called Yahweh. His name is Anu, all of that stuff. And you can see he's in the middle of this dome, which is your head, right? Your head, your skull, your cranium. In the middle of your skull, in the middle of your brain is the God, which is this guy right here. And he has a crown on. You see this yellow crown he got? That became the Baphomet horns. And the Baphomet is seated at a throne. He got one hand up and one hand down. You know why? Because the left brain is the 6 and the right brain is the 9. If you look at the yin-yang symbol, it's showing you the same thing the Baphomet showing you. One pointed up, one pointed down. Duality. As above, so below. Yin and yang. One part of your brain processes information clockwise, and one half of your brain processes the information counterclockwise. Together, they come together and they create a fucking tornado. We know that when these two winds, when a hot and cold wind coming in these 6 and 9 rotations, it create a hurricane when it come together. That's what your mama and daddy was. The feminine energy flows clockwise and the masculine energy flows counterclockwise. And when they come together, a vortex is created, a tornado called a child, a whole nother vortex of energy. So in the middle of your brain, because the right brain is circulating all of the electricity in the neural highways clockwise, and the left brain is doing it counterclockwise, in the middle of the brain, a god appears who shapes like a tornado or a cyclone. Because that's why he got this little pointed feet like that, like a spinning top. It's the same science of what's happening at the North Pole. In other words, I'm going to show you the electromagnetic energy field so you can see the top of your brain. Now look, here's how you get your left and right brain. But what's in the middle of the left and right brain? A steering wheel. Check this out now, y'all. Check that out. This is how your brain processes the electricity around it. It flows through the middle like this. Why do all of the information that's flowing around your brain is processed around the center? Because the signal is coming from God at the steering wheel. Ain't this some deep shit that Brother Sanchez teaching you? Isn't that right? Then hit the like and share button and let me know you appreciate me some kind of way, man. Appreciate y'all. Now check this out. Here's your brain right here. You notice in the middle of this is where we see a steering wheel. The steering wheel is what's creating the left and right brain, right? See, because you got this left and right, 6 and 9, it creates a tornado in the middle right there. And the tornado is literally the steering wheel. And the guy that's at the steering wheel, he looks like a tornado or a T. Look, a T. His sacred geometry is a upside down triangle. Look at him. You see? He shapes like a little diamond or a spinning top. Because if you look at the left and right brain, your brain is just a physical torus field, which is why I'm showing you this. So what's going on right here? In the middle of our head, right here, we got a swirl pattern. Our hair makes a swirl pattern. You know why? As above, so below. There's a swirl pattern right there anyway, called a crown chakra. So when your physical body manifests, it's gonna reveal the shape of the soul. If you look in the middle of this thing, you'll see man with his hands. Think of you with your legs open and your hands up like this. You know when the police be frisking you and they say freeze, spread your legs and put your hands up. And you look like a capital H. Look in the middle of this torus field. That's the Kananga. They said freeze. The pole lights, the police, the North Pole, where time stands still, frozen. Terminology is a motherfucker, ain't it? Etymology. Look in the middle of this thing. That show you how the human body gets its shape. That's called Vitruvian man. Nothing is random in the universe, people. The way that your hands and legs are able to fluctuate and bend all of these angles and fulfill all the angles of a 360-degree circle, this is what Da Vinci was trying to tell us. Now, what is Brother Sanchez telling you? Nigga, I just cracked the Da Vinci Code because it ain't deep. It ain't no bunch of equations and deep shit. It's simple. This is literally the Da Vinci Code. So if you look at Vitruvian man enclosed in the circle of life, it's showing you that the way our legs and arms move encompass a 360-degree sphere. And what is that? Why is that divine? Because that is the fulfillment of as above, so below as it relates to our energy field. You can't reach beyond your own energy bubble. This is very divine science for those who know exactly what I'm teaching. This bubble represents your level of reach. On a physical level and conscious level. So all I'm saying is this. When humans start expanding their consciousness, we will become giants. We will outgrow these bodies. We will have to transform to something else. Because once consciousness crosses a certain threshold of understanding, that's like when energy enters a black hole. It can't come out the other side the same, which is why a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, and why a sperm becomes a human, and why a human becomes a god. So the human inside of his electromagnetic energy field is literally the secrets of it all. This Da Vinci Code shit right here, Vitruvian man, is a bunch of wannabe deep bullshit to hide the truth. It ain't all that doggone deep. All of these black men that say they love black people, when they go to against spiritual, they start giving you the enemy's knowledge. And they start pulling up the fucking Vitruvian man. And I be like, yo, that's a white dude, Mr. Pro-Black. You do know that, right? You know what I mean? So when you look at this image of the Vitruvian man, it's no different than Da Vinci finding out the aura. Whoop-de-fuck-do, he was late as hell, bro. Like, we put so much emphasis on Greek philosophers and shit when they the youngest scholars. They the fucking ones just learned the shit. The Dogon been talking about your energy field. And I can show you that shit right now, man, that what I'm talking about. Let's put the Dogon on a pedestal. Let's show some love to Africa real quick. Show some love to motherfucking Africa real quick, baby. Here goes some artwork of the goddess Amma right here. Beautiful artwork. You got the Fibonacci spiral coming up out the heart, because everybody know that the heart is the strongest chakra. That's the ultimate judge of all of our actions. So this is a very powerful artwork. It's so much you can learn without talking, just by looking at the art, the symbols, the sacred geometry. What are you looking at? You are looking at the human inside of their energy field, which is why the spiral is coming out the middle. And it got you inside of your own little energy bubble with all of the energy bursting out the heart. And what do we see here in this image? The same thing. People, this is what I'm trying to teach you. Quit laughing at ancient people. Quit laughing at tribal people. Westerners think we so smart and we the only ones know everything, and we actually the ones that just figured it out. We the ones that just figured it out. Everybody else been new. We weren't even interpreting their artwork the right way. We thought they didn't know because we didn't know how to interpret their artwork. But I'm showing you that they knew because I know how to interpret it. People been looking at images like this for years to mock the Dogon. You know why Brother Sanchez get laughed at so much? Because I deal with images like this. People say he a Google scholar. But this come from the Dogon, and that's facts, and I'll debate anybody on it. I can show you several other copies of this same. This is a famous motherfucking concept that's taught among the Dogon. This is what they call Amma's egg. Anybody that have studied the Dogon, you know when Brother Sanchez say Amma's egg, that I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I ain't one of these new niggas. You ain't dealing with the Dogon if you ain't, if that man ain't say nothing about Amma's egg, he ain't dealing with the Dogon. That's one of the most important parts of their whole origin story. Amma's egg tells the secrets of the entire universe and about how energy is transported through it. So when you look at this image of Amma inside of her egg, this is you inside of your damn energy field. They weren't just telling beautiful stories and shit about humans trapped in eggs and shit like that. No, this was science, man, told in a beautiful way. A child can understand that. You know what people tell me? They say, Brother Sanchez, you break this stuff down so easy to understand. You know why? I'm interpreting it the ancestor way. You don't think a child can understand this right here? Look at how beautiful it is. It'll make a child want to learn about it, even an adult. So, and it'll make it easy to be taught. And you ain't got to have a bunch of equations or none of that to understand the secrets of how, what, and why you are. So right here, we think we so smart. Don't you know man just figured out this electromagnetic energy field? Man just did that in the 1900s. I'm talking about modern man. Modern man just rediscovered the human aura. And guess what's so sad about it? It's still a lot of Western scientists that's denying it. That's how slow we is, and we think we smart. And the Dogon been telling your ass it's a bubble around your body, and the energy that's created is coming from your goddamn heart. That's what this damn artwork mean right here. And do you know how long that the Dogon and the Pygmy been teaching this shit? Way before that the white man or the Western world even was making pictures like this with motherfucking Vitruvian man and a Da Vinci Code, dude. Told you, man. They don't want Brother Sanchez to get big because I'm going to put the ancestors back on a pedestal and I'm going to show everybody love. The Africans, the Hebrews, the Moors, and everybody. I always do. Just like I was teaching the Moors the real shit about Moorish history that they don't even talk about. The motherfucking Moors invented aviation. The Moors ruled the world because they was dropping bombs from hot air balloons. In Spain, they was the first one to create hot air balloons. See, it's a whole missing history of the Moors that was given to the Wright brothers. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's deep. It's deep, y'all. But we ain't gonna even do that one yet. I'm gonna make a whole documentary on the Wright brothers, and I'm gonna bring in Moorish science, and I'm gonna call that shit the wrong brothers. They ain't nothing right about them dudes. They didn't discover flight. Dude, they got blimps and helicopters carved on the pyramid walls in Egypt. Why you think Egypt and all them was so great? They don't want you to know that humans had took to the skies thousands of years ago. How hard do you think it is to blow up a goddamn balloon and hold on to it like the cartoons? Man gonna discover how to fly before he discover how to sail. It's harder to be a pirate at sea than it is to just float away in a hot air balloon and control a hot air balloon, bro. was flying before they was selling. And that's why they don't want to admit that, look, bro, why was the world connected before ships? How was everybody in the world connected before we had highways, roads, and ships? Bro, we was flying like a motherfucker. They don't want to tell the truth. Bro, the hot air balloon is one of the oldest carvings on the wall, and they don't want to talk about it. That these ancient people got hot air balloons and blimps and shit carved on their wall. And the fucking blimps and hot air balloons was so popular in ancient Moorish Ottoman Empire in Spain, they made the most beautiful hot air balloons that was decorated in the most beautiful patterns. Go look it up. Look up ancient aviation in Spain. I already did a documentary on this. But I'm bouncing all over the place right now, man. I'm just trying to give y'all knowledge, but I'm gonna get back on track here, man. So the whole thing that I want to tie this Dogon goddess Amma into, what we're looking at is a top-down view of the human brain as well. So what I'm teaching you is a fractal code that you can tie this same knowledge that I'm teaching you here, what the Dogon was saying, right? You can tie that into Vitruvian man. You can tie that into the aura around your body, right? But now here's where I'm gonna fuck you up at with the fractal code. You can also tie this same knowledge in right here, what the Dogon teaching us. Look at this image. You see that this is called the electromagnetic field of the what? The heart. The heart. Now, if you look at the Dogon drawing, where's the energy coming from? The heart. Them people know what they talking about, and they ain't no dummies. In fact, they smarter than this Western world. These Western anthropologists was spending money to go over there and interview the Dogon. The Dogon ain't came over here to go to Princeton. Ain't none of these tribal people that these Western anthropologists going over there to interview to learn about the universe. They ain't coming over here to learn from the Western world. Our anthropologists going into the goddamn jungles to ask these po folks about the stars and shit. And y'all ain't waking up and seeing what the fuck going on and who the real teachers is. Yeah, these Western anthropologists risking their goddamn life, man. I did a whole documentary about the DECODED mission. 13 white boys went down there and took goddamn Djibouti and was dealing with an elite Dogon groups and pygmy tribes to learn about the stars. What came out of that was the Sirius star system talk that we indoctrinated with today. But anyway, they spent 9 years in the jungle, living off the land and all that, getting sick and shit. So why are they so desperate to go and talk to these pygmy folks? And every time you turn around, they spending thousands, hundred thousands of dollars to go down here in the jungle to interview people who you said dumb, no. You said them people dumb, no. And them people ain't coming over here to learn that from you. So now check this out right here, y'all. When you look at this image right here, what the Dogon gave us, they know what they was talking about way before Da Vinci with this Vitruvian man. And then this whole little shit. And see, that's what I'm talking about, the electromagnetic field of the heart. They ain't showing you the whole fractal science with the shit. Because it ain't just about the auric field. This is the fractal code of all energy, man. Which is why now we're going to go on to the brain over here. So the Dogon are so smart that they didn't give you a perfect circle. I keep telling y'all the Dogon know what the fuck they doing. Y'all, it get me frustrated dealing with these modern wannabe smart and have to tell them that our ancestors ain't no dummies. And I get tired of it, bro. Now check this out right here. Look at the shape of the brain and look at the shape of Goddess Amma. You think the Dogon made that shape because they just liked it, that little funny shape? Huh? That's why I said we got to pay attention to everything. Because if you miss stuff, you will think the Dogon don't know what you know because they live in the jungle. Now look at this. I just showed you that the Dogon know about the human aura because this what this image represent. But I'm also showing you that the Dogon know about the brain too. Look, that little man inside of the bubble, again, it's a fractal code. That's the God that's sending the will and the commandment of the soul. This is when your soul incarnates into the body, it incarnates first as this little dude in the middle of the brain. This is the first body that the soul makes for itself. That's literally the lower self. And the higher self is where this antenna represent. This antenna extends to heaven. That's your crown chakra right here. You see how this energy bursts up out of you like an antenna coming up out your head? That's what I'm showing you right here. That's what the real you is in the heavens. That's you. You're a star in the heavens. But your star is trying to send its will through the body to control its avatar on earth, like I'm showing you right here. So this whole thing about a little bitty dude inside of a bubble is literally you and your starship. It's called a Merkaba. Let me show it to you. But this Merkaba science is a fractal science and is manifesting itself in all aspects of your reality. And all Brother Sanchez doing in this stream is showing them all to you. Here you go right here, man. See, your left and right brain is your higher and lower self. So this what creates this matrix, this pattern. And you're in the middle of the angel and the demon, the 6 and the 9. So when you look at the Masonic square and compass, the G in the middle is you. You're God. That G in the middle is you. Why? Because you're God, man. You're God. This right here, what they're hiding in Freemasonry, behind all this mysticism, is you. That's what they hiding, brothers and sisters. But guess what? I found you. That's right. That's what they hiding, the secrets of us and how we travel through the cosmos. Look at here. We live in our mind, not our body. Because the real you is seated at the back of the brain, trying to manifest his will through the body. You just won't listen to that voice in the middle of your head. Listen to that voice. So here it is. That's the goddess Amma, or what they call the divine feminine. Everybody got this divine feminine because thoughts are born, not made. So you have a feminine aspect associated with you giving birth to proper actions. You being proud of that which you gave birth to. If you start looking at every action you take like you giving birth to a child, don't you want to raise your child the right way? So then you will begin to govern your actions the right way and start to rehearse your actions. Like I said, slow down. And listen to the voice up here instead of operating off the chatter. Because all that is just junk data floating around the brain and shit. Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, new clothes, bullshit. That's the brain chatter. That ain't what the soul can't, you see, it can't talk to you over that. When they say quiet yourself, they saying quiet the brain so you can hear the mind. Now, this God, this image right here is a God called Yahweh. Let's recap. Here he go right here in your, that's you, the mind. Now, here he go right here, seated at his throne. Here he go there in his light body. And the symbol of Yahweh or Jesus is a 6-pointed star or tetragrammaton, which is just what? A Merkaba. These gods ain't doing nothing but hiding the truth about you. You God, you the goddess. So you surrounded by your bubble, your vortex of light. Here you go right here, the same as above, so below. There you go right there in the middle of your own brain. If you can never figure it out. Now here go what the Dogon said. See, I can take this one picture that the Dogon gave us and use it to teach about everything in creation. That's the beauty of this. I could teach about, because it's a fractal code. Yeah, let's keep it moving. I'm gonna go ahead and shut some of these slides down so we can press forward. When I said that this part of us is the divine feminine, here go the Dogon goddess Amma. She represents the divine feminine. Now they turned this goddess into Yahweh, is what I'm telling you right here. See? Let me go ahead and move this stuff over and start getting it in real quick because we about to turn up. So look, here go the God Yahweh, aka Anu. When we say Anunnaki, the Anunnaki aren't aliens. The Anunnaki represents the fact that we're alienated to what the mind is. That's the problem. And so you'll start talking about ET and aliens and all that shit when these people dealing with the mind. These folks running the world have deciphered the most advanced technology that the human got, which is your mind, and it's a terrible thing to waste. Now look at this God right here. His name is Anu. And like he's in the middle of your brain, right? I keep showing this God to you. Let me go back and recap it. Uh-oh, did I shut my screen? Let me bring it back up there again. Man in black. So here we go. Sometime I'll be shutting stuff up and I actually need it again. No problem. So this God right here, when you talk about Yahweh or Anu, that's literally why he's in the middle of this dome, because the mind is the seat of the soul. That's the true self. Until they made it a fucking alien. Do y'all get what I'm saying? All of these channels with all of these goddamn occultists and mystic priests and sellouts and Freemasons on there. These people took an oath with the devil, and the devil don't want you to know about your soul. The devil don't want you to know about your soul because the devil wants your soul. And if you knew how valuable your soul was, you wouldn't sell it like all of these fuck boys do. Why you think so many brothers and sisters selling their soul? They don't know what they got. What a nigga would sell something that's priceless, something invaluable, because they don't know the worth of it. Quick. Ignorance. A dude will hand over his soul before he let you drive his car. And that's the most your mind, your consciousness, dude. You got folks being paid off to not use their mind, which is the most beautiful shit that the creator gave us. And you got folks that get up every day and play dumb so they can live in a nice house and drive a nice car. They wake up every day and don't use their mind just to teach you not to use yours. And that's the biggest trick of the devil. That's why the dumbest, most ignorant people are the wealthiest. They really have an incentive for ignorance in this world. Either you the damn most ignorant motherfucker or you the most evilest motherfucker. But check it out. Here go this God here. Like I said, they think that this God is an alien, y'all. And if you look at the Men in Black movie, they've alienated consciousness. They've alienated consciousness. God ain't no alien. Aliens don't exist. This light inside of our brain is we forgot that that's the true self and we think we the body now. So this dude in the middle of our brain is an alien to us now. We're not even acquainted with our mind. We're bodily creatures. Everything is surface. You got the most beautiful women, dumb as fuck. And I ain't attacking women. I'm just telling you how everything's surface. You will have these beautiful women in positions of power, and you know that they there because they because ain't shit smart about them. And I'm just showing you we in a surface level goddamn world. But check this out, y'all. This is why. The human body is not acquainted with the human mind. Sorry, y'all. I'm finna break some shit down to y'all that's deep real quick, right? The human body is not acquainted with the human mind because the human mind ain't human. So now I'm about to teach you why the mind became to be seen as an alien. Our minds ain't human, y'all. Our mind is some sort of higher being that controls the human. Meaning our thoughts govern our actions. And we say mind over matter. Mind over matter is MOM, which is what? Mom, great mama, which is what this image is, the divine feminine. Now, when you look at the divine feminine in other cultures, this is what she looked like. And a lot of people are turned off by this image because they see this out of shape, ugly, fat woman. But you know why they shouldn't be turned off by it? Because the great mother or the divine feminine is just showing you what the mind looks like. Check it out. Here go the pineal gland. This purple and green part. You see now why the great mother shapes the way she shaped? People, our ancestors were so advanced, they weren't just worshiping fat women. I swear to God, guess what? Guess what make me mad? Today's scientists, when they teach about the great mother, guess what they call it? Obesity cults. Oh my God! Y'all ought to be offended. Why ain't nobody want to ride for the ancestors like your boy? That's racism. Our ancestors weren't promoting no obesity. They was dealing with science. They were personifying the divine feminine. They were personifying this part of our brain right here. Check it out. Now, if you look at it, guess what it looked like? That movie, Alien vs. Predator. Let me show you where they get this shit from. Because they always alienate this shit. If you look at the alien head, now look at the head of this alien. Look at the head of this alien. You see that head? Watch this. Look at the head of your brain stalk right here. Now you see the alien head now. You see? This whole part that I'm highlighting with my mouse is this the part where the seat of the soul at. This where the mind at. And they alienated the mind. And I keep showing you that they alienated the mind. They demonized it to the point where people don't even want to think anymore. It seems like an alien action to use critical thinking. Now, they say that this goddess represents an obesity cult. And people that we ought to want to smack the shit out of whoever said that. That's a racist motherfucker who trying to say that your ancestors were dumbasses who like fat women. Man, bro, the reason we see these big fat goddesses all over the earth in the ancient world, because our ancestors were fascinated with the mind and they personified the mind as the divine feminine. And so that's why this divine feminine goddess is just like the Dogon version, a little fat lady, like the goddess Amma. So check that out. This whole part of the brain right here became the mother goddess or the divine feminine right here. And they trying to corrupt it and say, oh, that was a fat lady cult. That was an obesity cult. Oh, that's an alien up there. They don't want you to know the truth that that's you up there. The real you that's experiencing reality is seated in the back of your brain. You are not your body. You are the one that's controlling your body. And when they don't want to know, when they don't want you to know what and where you are and what you are, which is a beacon of light, then they will alienate this stuff. See what they doing right here? They will alienate that. Now, what if we were watching an educational movie to teach these children the truth, what Brother Sanchez teaching them, instead of some alien bullshit like what I'm showing you here? See what I'm saying? Ain't no teaching in these movies in Hollywood. It's just dumbing down and indoctrination. It's selling you an alien religion, and you don't even see it. The real concept of alienation is the fact that humans today are alienated to their fucking mind. The average human living their life don't even use their mind for the most part of their life. They got premeditated actions. They fucking actions are written out by man. Or they don't fucking think. They don't have an original thought that govern their actions, which is why they can't seem to manifest this different life that they picture for themselves. Where? In their mind. If you picture this life for yourself in your mind, what make you think you don't got to use your mind to manifest it? You picture yourself one way in your mind, but your life is different. Because you have not synced your body with your mind. You're a fucking alien. You're a stranger to your mind. You haven't even met yourself yet. Only thing you've been acquainted with is this goddamn meat package called a body. You know it very well. You know where every nook and cranny, little bitty dot and flaw and mole. You know what kind of cream to use. You know what beauty products break you out. You know all this shit about your body. And I don't know shit about your mind. In fact, you ain't even used your mind because everything you've done in your life didn't require you to use it when TV thinking for you. The moment the average program person tap into their own mind, it feel like a task, a chore to have to think, which is one of the greatest gifts the Most High gave us, which is why the people in power outthinking you. It ain't they out worshiping you. It ain't they out praising you. These motherfuckers don't know more scriptures than you. And they don't go to church and to mass more than you. They're more not religious than you. They're just outthinking you. And when you realize that it don't matter about you being religious, it don't matter about you knowing all them scriptures, all them debates y'all having to look smart. See, it don't matter about you looking smart. It matter about you being smart. You can look smart all you want, but to look smart, you got to play dumb. You know why you got to play dumb to look smart? You got to act like your enemy ain't winning. Because you done told yourself you smart, so I guess that make the nigga ruling you dumb, huh?
Stupid.
So now, let's talk about Santa Claus, the god at the North Pole with the big black belt around his waist. I told you what happens at the North Pole. This is what happens at the North Pole. And this is why Santa Claus got the big black belt around his waist. It's the human soul going into an event horizon, a black hole at the North Pole. Now let's move on. Here is the man going into the black hole at the North Pole. This God represents the North Pole, which is you and me when we leave the body. All right? I'm just recapping before I go forward. The dude that you see in the middle of the brain at the steering wheel, when his job is done with the body, he hit the eject button and he ejects himself up out the pilot seat. And the consciousness leaves this earth and it goes into another body to control it. And don't trip. Your soul will always choose a body that you're comfortable with. So I don't see how none of you don't love yourself. I love everything about myself, because that's saying that the soul that's seated inside of this avatar actually custom built this throne. And I can sit here for a whole lifetime as a soul inside of this body called Bro Sanchez, and I can live comfortably seated in this body at my throne. Can you? I like my avatar. But you know what I like the most about it? The one that's commanding it. Ha! So that mean, guess what? When my soul done controlling this body that I like, the real me that I like more is going to continue to control of, because what I like is my thought process. What I like is my mind, and you can put the mind that I got inside of a goddamn eagle, and I'll be at peace. You can take this mind that's controlling Brother Sanchez's body and put it in a goddamn hawk's body, a cow body, and I'll find a place of zen as a cow, as a eagle. What am I saying? This part of me is transportable, and I can get comfortable in any room I find myself, because I don't live in the room. I live in the mind. So the mind is what has been turned into an alien. And if your eyes is open, you can see what I'm telling you right here, that this whole chamber right here is what we call the mind. This whole little part right here. And that if you look at this part right here, it look like an alien now, don't it? So look at this alien head. You see that? That's the alien head. Now let's go back to the mind. You see that? You see what they done? Now here go the mind right here, right? And then here go the alien. They alienated us to ourselves. Here we go right here. I'm just recapping. Let me go ahead and start. So yeah, this is what I meant to do. Hold on a second. The Dogon goddess, because look, Ama is honor. And the god Anu replaced the goddess Ana or Ama. That's why I'm bringing the goddesses into it too. So there we go back with the goddess to go back to where we started to show you what we're saying about this Anunnaki. Who remember E.T.? You see how they turned the goddess Ama into an alien called E.T. in Hollywood? I can't make this up, man. I'm going to see if I can get a full frame of E.T. body. Because I'm showing y'all something. If you look at the way E.T. body shaped in the movie, go back and watch E.T. The way that E.T. walked around, a short little hunchback of you know the hunchback of Notre Dame with the little short fat body and the hunched shoulders. That's them making fun of the Dogon goddess, y'all. Look at her. Remember that the hunchback of Notre Dame is a character called Quetzalcoatl that represents the North Pole. So this is the Dogon's goddess that represent the North Pole. And the Europeans turned her to the hunchback of Notre Dame, and they turned her to E.T. And here go the goddess Ama, and we can now see what the Dogon was dealing with science, all right? All right. So now let's keep on moving with this. Keep on moving. Yeah, buddy, I'm on a roll. That one open. And we're going to introduce now. Let's talk a little bit about the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland, it looked like some nut sacks, okay? It looked like some nut sacks with wings on it. Take a look at it. You'll see what I'm talking about here. Your pituitary gland look like some nut sacks with wings on them. I mean, let's just keep it real. This is what it looked like. Nut sacks with wings on it. Now, the pituitary gland, like I said, it represents the lower self. It represents the part of the brain that's dealing with sets, that's dealing with the earth. And if you look at it, it's a nut sack with wings on it. Now, why am I keep talking about a nut sack with wings on it? Because the pituitary gland was literally worshipped in the ancient world as a nut sack with wings on it. I can't make this artwork up, bro. I can't make this artwork up. This is in the ancient world. But to the untrained mind, they would say, man, this is some gay stuff. And guess what? You would be right. You would be right. In ancient Rome, this stuff was corrupted and turned it into all kind of foul behavior. But check this out. The people at the top know the truth behind the desecrated symbols. That's like now, the rainbow means homosexuality. But the rainbow literally meant the light spectrum, the chakra layers, before they corrupted it. So now look, here is the pituitary gland. Like I said, it looked like a nut sack with wings on it. That's the part of our brain that's literally dealing with earthly things. Now the pineal gland is dealing with heavenly things. The pituitary, the pit. The pineal is the pinnacle, the most high. The pituitary is the most low, dealing with your sets, your stomach growling, the earthly things. That's the part of the brain that when this part become activated, when you thinking right there, right? Now, if you look at the shape of it, and it's dealing with the gladiator part of our reality, right? It's dealing with the sex drive. And so now these kind of symbols should make sense to you now. It should make sense to you now. You know, it should make perfect sense to you now that this is science, that they were dealing with the pituitary gland the part of us that deal with your sex organ. And it actually looked like testicles. But there's a lot of symbols that you will see in the ancient world that represent the pituitary. Hold up a minute. So again, I showed y'all pictures early of the great mother goddess and the divine feminine, which is the mind, the one that conceives. It conceives without being impregnated, which is why it was called the Virgin Mary. Uh-oh. Yep. Look at this picture of the Virgin Mary. You know what the Virgin Mary got on her back? The stars, because this is the goddess Nut. She's a sky goddess. And you see what's going around around her body? The same thing going around the Dogon goddess body. That light. That light. Now here go the Virgin Mary. She's personifying the pineal gland. She's personifying your pineal gland or the divine feminine, the crown chakra energy. Do you see this? The reason she's a virgin is because nothing impregnates your mind with a new idea. You're a doggone God, and you're able to conceive of an original idea. That is an immaculate conception. So check it out. Just like the Dogon was talking about the divine feminine or the great mother being the mind, the great conceiver, guess what? The Christians were in the form of the Virgin Mary. There she go. In all of her radiance. You know why? She's the pineal gland. So you notice that she take this same little oblate shape like that the Dogon goddess shape, and that her prayer hands is in the middle of her chest where her heart is, where all of the energy smashed together, which is what the prayer hands is just a clapping of energy where yin meets yang, right in the middle of the chest where the heart energy, the heart vortex is. See? That's what the Virgin Mary doing. It's just another form of Amma. So when you look at the heart in the middle of the chest, casting out the aura around the body, there we go, and there we go. All right, guys, let me see where I'm at for time because I want to save some time to keep my promise and open up the call lines for y'all. If you are a person interested in having a one-on-one with Brother Sanchez, whether it be a disagreement or smoke, or just to let me know good teachings, man, or just if you would like to add on to it or whatever it may be, long as it's professional and that you ain't just talking forever now. If you interested in joining me for a one-on-one, drop a 1. Because what I'll do, I'll make this show accessible to the people if I get enough people interested. But basically, guys, I'm going to say the rest of my information for, I may do a part 4 to this, or I might just name it something different, but I'm still going to be, it's some more stuff I got to show y'all, all right, concerning Serapis and how he tie into all of this. But I can save it, though. We can save that for later. Right, so let me go ahead and start checking the chat room to see if anybody would like to join. Told y'all I'm gonna go live tomorrow as well because I'm gonna have to go away for a minute. I'm gonna leave away for a minute. So Yeah, one thing I want to say, all the images that y'all be seeing of Lord Krishna, when you see images like this right here of Lord Krishna, yeah, that's just the pineal gland inside of the brain. Yeah, while we open up the panel, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up with that last point right there. When you see the light right there, clothed by the brain, that ain't nothing but Krishna inside of the lotus flower. The lotus flower is where reality is loaded at. And the lotus flower that Krishna is sitting on, it literally looked like a flower that he's sitting on. I'll show it to you. Here it is right here. It looked like a reefer plant. You see this little flower? Krishna is the great mother right here, this alien little Nagini, but it's seated on top of a little flower. You see this little flower right here? That's the brain stem. That little flower right there, that's what make the hair on the back of your neck stand up, because that baby is electric, it's static. You know, when the hair on the back of your neck stand up, that's this little flower right here growing its tentacles out. Little nervous tentacles is sending a shock in that area, and you can feel this little creep on the back of your neck like sometime. But that little flower there is what the great mother, she's sitting on, or what Krishna is sitting on, a lotus flower surrounded by the brain. So this the light inside of the brain. Krishna represents the mind inside of the brain. I forgot to talk about Krishna. I'm just gonna throw him in here real quick and be through with him. So there you go, Krishna on the lotus flower, like when they floated. Remember, didn't they float Moses down the Nile River in a basket? If you think that a baby can float in a wicker basket, you're a fucking fool. Because a wicker basket got holes in it. It'll sink quick. And the Nile River got alligators, crocodiles, pythons, and all that. If you think that they floated Moses down the Nile River in a basket, you should get you a fucking crazy chick. That's what I hate about religion. That's what I hate about religion. You got grown folks that'll get up on my show and say, yeah, they floated a baby down the Nile River in a basket from one country to the next country, and it made it there safe. And it just so happened to arrive at a royal fucking king's house. Man, y'all funny. Y'all so funny. Y'all believe in fairy tales. And I can't help y'all. See, the whole thing about Moses floating down the Nile River in a basket, they told the same story about Lord Krishna floating on the ethereal waters. What am I proving? That it wasn't a real story until these folks got smart and used the name of a real river. It's so much deception when it comes to writing. You can have a fake ass book, but you can use a real city. So I can write a fake book, right, with fake people and fake everything going on. But I can say the boy was born in Brooklyn, New York. That's a real place. So people gonna think my story real because I got real places in it. So because the Bible used real places like the Nile River, we believe in fake stories. Go float. You really think a baby floated down a Nile? It's sad. It's sad. They was talking about a spiritual journey, yo. They was talking about something deeper. They was talking about science. I want to take the time and ask that if you follow this channel and you appreciate the work that we do, we cannot do it without your support. And one way you can support us is by becoming a member of this channel. And with your channel membership, you will be able to access perks like members only chat room, members only live streams, members first content, and so much more. Thank you so much in advance for becoming a member of this channel.